At this year's conference, we have piloted a number of events, including this morning's 5 Minutes to Shine, the aim of which is to showcase big ideas, light bulbs, if you will, drawn from all sectors of our membership. Those potentially shining moments that may or may have not been acted upon, but yet stimulate us to think different. Thank you, Steve Jobs. So, at the end of the session, the audience voted on which 5-minute presentation, which light bulb they would most like to have presented or shared with you all at this luncheon. So here we go. To share this with you, please welcome Leeward Assistant Theater Manager at the Leeward Theater at the University of Hawaii Leeward Community College Theater, Lehua Simon. Lehua Simon.
So they're going to bring up my presentation. And I just want to tell you all that this is the first time I'm speaking to this many awesome people all at once. So I'm hoping I can have the power to shine for you today. Okay, so we're ready to begin. And my name is Lehua, and I come from the Leeward Theater. You're going to go back one slide, thank you. I come from the Leeward Theater, which is located on the leeward side of the island of Oahu. And things are getting crazy now on the projector. So I'm just going to see if they can figure it out. Yeah, but I come from Hawaii, and I work at the lovely Leeward Theater. And when I started working there, someone told me that you're going to go back one slide. Back it up. There we go. So someone told me that the land upon which the theater rests was once occupied by a heiau, an ancient Hawaiian temple. And upon the arrival of Western civilization, the heiau was destroyed, but upon that same land was built a Christian church. Now you can change it. So certain sites in the Hawaiian Islands are believed to possess what they call mana. And mana is a word used in many Pacific languages, and it is a reference to the existence of supernatural power. And the thing is that when I go about my business at the Leeward Theater, I can feel the mana. I feel that the theater I work at is really a temple built upon land that has been dedicated for temples throughout the ages. And maybe I'm just imagining that, but also maybe there's not really a difference. So anyways, recently the Leeward Theater was blessed by a new theater manager, and when he arrived, he brought with him a flying pig, and I've decided that this pig will be named Dangerfield. So Dangerfield is not actually a flying pig because those don't exist. He's really a piece of porcelain glass, and around his neck we've strung a kukui nut lei. So the kukui nut in Hawaiian culture is a sign of prosperity and perseverance because it can make an oil that will light a flame throughout the night. And as a side note, the volunteers that I work with at the Leeward Theater, they also wear the kukui nut lei during our performances. And what I want to say about Dangerfield is he is a piece of art, but he is also a flying pig adorned with the sign of prosperity and perseverance. And so he's a crafted thing that's been infused with greater meaning. And for me, this infusion gives me hope. So I take a piece of art and I put spirit into it. And when I do that, it gives it supernatural powers. It gives it the mana, and it's the mana of hope. And so art like Dangerfield can be a spiritual practice. And the great thing about my spiritual practice with Dangerfield is that it gives me a greater power to be the assistant theater manager at the Leeward Theater, because he sits on my boss's bookshelf, and every day he reminds me that we have to keep our hopes up. So the mana that I'm putting into Dangerfield is equal to the mana that he gives me back. And I hope all the arts presenters in here will agree that it takes supernatural powers to do our job. So I'm one wonder if what would happen if we infused the arts with a greater sense of spirituality, if we tapped into the mana that exists in our theaters. Would this perhaps return us to the true power of art and give us what we need to do our jobs better? I don't know, because I've only had Dangerfield and my new theater manager for like 6 months, and we're still wondering how to bring the spirit back to the theater and how that will support us. But I came up with 3 things that have helped me over the last year. 3 spiritual practices, and you're welcome to use them or come up with your own. The first thing is prayer, but prayer doesn't always happen like this. When we were looking for our new theater manager, I gathered the community of our theater together, and I engaged them in activities that would help us define what we wanted the universe to bring to us. And in a way, we were praying, but I didn't tell them that. The next thing is to believe. When the former theater manager left, I was in no place to take over. I was finishing my master's degree. I was suffering from a medical condition that disabled me from eating and digesting my food, and I was losing the love of my life because the life that I was living was destroying the woman that he loved. And at that point in time, I had no idea how I was supposed to get through all of that, let alone do my job. And but at the same time, I believed in my job, and I believed in my theater, and I believed in myself just long enough to walk through the darkness until my new theater manager could find me and bring me out into the light. So we found the light. And then that's the third thing, is that we need to seek the light of the divine. Now, this is Charmaine Clamore. She's a Filipina jazz singer. You don't see that many of those. But when she arrived at our theater, I realized she was more than that. She was a channel for the divine. And when she sang, the people of our theater could hear the divine, and they could see the divine, and then they could feel and know the divine through her. And what I want to say and ask you all is, isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that what this stage is for? Thank you.
Lehua, come on.